Look at the top of a towering tree. Those highest leaves need a constant supply of water to survive, but the organism is anchored firmly in the dry ground, hundreds of feet below. The physical distance between the root system absorbing moisture and the canopy actually using it is massive. In a coastal redwood, that gap can be over 300 feet. If a human needs to move fluids against the pull of gravity, we rely on a dense muscle, the heart, to actively pump blood. Plants lack a heart, or any moving parts at all. Instead, they evolved a dual pipeline network, known as the vascular system. The vascular system is a microscopic internal transport network of tube-like tissues that circulates water and nutrients throughout the organism. By building this internal plumbing, early plants bypassed the limits of diffusion, allowing them to pull moisture from deep soil, survive on dry land, and grow into the towering structures we see today. The first half of this network is dedicated entirely to moving water and dissolved minerals in one strict direction, straight up from the soil. Biologists call this upward-bound water highway the xylem. The xylem is a continuous network of hollow, pipe-like vessels that connects the roots to the rest of the plant. Water moves through these pipes via transpiration pull. As sunlight heats the leaves, water evaporates from tiny pores, creating a continuous vacuum. It's the exact same physics as a straw. Negative pressure at the top pulls the liquid up. As long as the sun shines and water evaporates, this continuous solar-powered vacuum drags a column of water from the deepest root hairs all the way to the highest branches. Without this constant upward tug replacing the evaporated moisture, the leaves would quickly dry out, and the plant's ability to produce food would shut down entirely. Since these vessels are microscopic and encased in solid wood or thick stems, proving this upward flow is actually happening requires a way to make the invisible visible. If you place the freshly cut stem of a white flower into a beaker of red-dyed water, you can watch the mechanics in real time. Over a few hours, the colored liquid travels straight up the translucent stem and floods into the white petals. Those deep red streaks trapped in the flower petals offer physical proof that the xylem acts as a strict one-way street, constantly carrying fluids up from the base. Once that water reaches the leaves, the plant uses it, along with sunlight and carbon dioxide, to forge glucose sugars during photosynthesis. But those leaves now face a logistical problem. The sugar they produce has to be transported downward to feed the parts of the plant that don't see the sun, like the thick trunk, the underground roots, and any growing fruit. To handle this distribution, the plant relies on its second major pipeline, the phloem. The phloem is a vascular tissue responsible for carrying the food prepared by the leaves to all other parts of the organism. Operating on a pressure flow mechanism, leaves pack sugar tightly into the phloem, creating a high-pressure zone. This pressure forces the sugary syrup down from the leaves, pushing it toward low-pressure sink zones to grow roots or ripen an apple. It is a common misconception that water and food mix in the stem. The xylem never carries food. The phloem is entirely separate, acting as a multi-directional delivery service that pushes resources wherever they are needed. If a physical injury severs the phloem pipeline, the roots will starve in the dark, and the plant will lose its ability to sprout a new branch or yield a piece of fruit. Inside every stem, branch, and leaf vein, the xylem and phloem run parallel to each other, operating simultaneously. It is a massive, interconnected transit system that functions perfectly without a single moving part, muscle, or central pump to drive it. This elegant internal plumbing allows life to thrive in diverse environments, supporting everything from the smallest garden crops to the oldest ancient forests. The success of all terrestrial plant life and the animals that rely on them for food depends entirely on this silent, never-ending exchange of water pulled up and food pushed down.